Arsenal legend Cesc Fabregas is back, and he's making waves in the Italian Serie A. Known for his vision on the field and his brilliant footballing mind, Cesc Fabregas has led Italian side Como 1907 to win promotion into the Serie A, ending their 21-year wait to get back into the first division. In this video, we'll explore his current tactical philosophy at Como 1907, and also we'll try a little experiment to see what would happen if he managed Arsenal with his philosophy. Como's tactical philosophy has changed from last season. During their promotion campaign, Como 1907 set up in a 4-2-2-2 system, but after their 3-0 humbling at the hands of Juventus in their first game, Cesc Fabregas decided to find another solution. And it didn't take long. Adjusting the system, Como went on to secure wins against Atalanta and Verona. So what is the new system that they're using? Cesc Fabregas now sets up his team in an unconventional 4-2-3-1 system, where the two fullbacks stay slightly higher than the opposition's wingers. The system thrives on movement, so they can receive the ball on the half turn and carry it forward. It's a risky approach, but it also allows Como 1907 to bypass the initial press. Their wingers stay closer to the center, making underlapping runs into the half spaces. This movement draws the opposition's fullback closer to them, creating space for Como's fullbacks to attack. Most of the action takes place in the middle of the pitch, so Cesc Fabregas prefers to play it this way. And with the front four players constantly swapping position, it makes it difficult for the opponent to actually defend. So what makes their 4-2-3-1 system unconventional? Well, in this system, the number 10 sits deeper, staying closer to the two defensive midfielders, so it's almost like a 4-2-1-3 system. Having so many players in the middle of the pitch gives Como 1907 numerical superiority in this area. It also allows them to keep possession since teammates are a lot closer together. But Como isn't obsessed with possession.
I don't like the fact that we only have to play football just because we have the ball and we want to play it around. The main objective, and we are trying to build this way and attack this way, is to attack here as soon as possible.
Having more players in the middle of the field allow them to progress the ball into the final third. The two fullbacks stay out wide and offer width. They also play through balls if they find the gap in the opposition's defense. The aim is to protect the central area and force the opposition out wide. Their mid-block sometimes encourages the striker to drop deeper, staying closer to the number 10. This creates a shape that looks like a 4-2-4 defensive setup. So let's talk about their transition phase. First, their transition out of possession. When Como 1907 lose the ball in their attacking third, they use an aggressive counter press to try and win the ball back. Against teams that play out of the back very often, the striker can make a diagonal press towards the opposition's fullback. Cesc Fabregas wants his team to move the ball forward, and this is why when Como 1907 win possession back, they look to play forward with a counter attack. Now, in our experiment with Arsenal on Football Manager, we scored over 30 goals in 13 games and were sitting first in the league. But the tactical setup at Arsenal is a safe version of the tactic. It has defensive roles and a balanced mentality. I did try to create a more expansive version with Como 1907, and this is where our tactical recreation starts to take place. For this tactic, I use a super keeper on support duty. This suits their goalkeeper Pepe Reina as he has enough eccentricity to help us start counter-attacks. That's the one risk I took in defense, as I kept both centre-backs as central defenders on defend duty. But to encourage the fullbacks to get forward and also stay wide enough, I chose to use fullbacks on attack duty. They'll also take more risk and try to play through balls to the striker. These roles are the same for the safe version and the expansive version. But in defensive midfield, that's where both tactics start to look different. The safe version I use for Arsenal has a deep line playmaker on the left hand side with a defensive midfielder on the right. The deep line playmaker is on support duty and he acts like a creative outlet for the team. Maxime Perrone and Arsenal's Mikel Merino fits perfectly into this role. The defensive midfielder is on defend duty and he offers protection for the back four. Luca Mesitelli and Arsenal's Declan Rice fit the role perfectly. With Declan Rice, you could have more freedom and switch the defensive midfielder from defend to support and just encourage him to get forward because Arsenal is such a good team. In Como 1907, I used Sergio Roberto in this role once in a while. But having one player on support and another player on defend ensures that both defensive midfielders are rarely on the same line. This helps to move the ball quicker and try to bypass the opposition's press. In the expansive version with Como, I also experimented with a regista and a roaming playmaker as the DMs. If you want to have more fun and add more creativity to your team, you can try this, but the safe version works just fine. We're moving to the attacking roles now. My number 10 plays in central midfield as the advanced playmaker on attack duty. Martin Odegaard fits this role perfectly at Arsenal. But Nico Paz at Como, even though he plays the role in real life, I had to retrain him to play the role in Football Manager. For the wingers, I did experiment with both inverted wingers and inside forwards. So you're free to use either role, but I did ask the player in that role to sit narrower and also get further forward. With the inside forward, the get further forward is already a default player instruction. For the striker, we have a pressing forward on attack duty, and Andre Belotti fits this role perfectly. For the team instructions, I kept it very little. The mentality is set to balance, and when the team is in possession, they'll play with a slightly higher tempo and they'll play through the middle. I also set the attacking width to fairly narrow so we can have more bodies in the middle of the field, and again, this helps us play through the middle. You can have underlaps and overlaps based on the movement of the players, but I didn't see the need to force this instruction. In the transition phase, remember that we need counter press to encourage the team to try to win the possession back as soon as they lose it. We also want them to play counter attacks when they go on to win possession. But since they're so narrow, I also asked my goalkeeper to clear the ball to the flanks. This sort of helps us play a dynamic counter attack that isn't too predictable. But if you notice the team giving the ball away too often, you can take off this instruction. When the team is out of possession, we are set up in a mid block but with a higher defensive line. This way, we reduce the space in midfield. The team is also going to trap the opposition outside and protect the center. So this is Cesc Fabregas' current tactical philosophy at Como 1907. You notice that I have the latest FM24 database with Como already in the Serie A. This way we can start the season without waiting for Football Manager 2025. If you want to know how to download the latest game database, check out this next video to see how you can get it done. If you enjoy Football Manager videos like this, please subscribe to the channel and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.